Don't record me trying to open things, Eric. It's embarrassing. Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me in another meal prep videos for Weight Watchers. So personally, I am doing my WW Blue, but I will also be giving you guys the links and letting you know the different points for the other things. So just full disclosure, right now in real life time, it is Sunday night after dinner. And my goal for this is I want to be able to have like a quick, easy meal prep to set me up for success for the rest of the week. So I really tried to choose things that wouldn't take me forever because honestly, sometimes I get tired after meal prep, but I still want to do it because it helps me a lot. So let me explain to you what we're going to do, and then we gotta get going because I want to be able to go to bed at a good time. Okay, so we are going to start off with some Tomatillo Salsa Verde. This is a recipe I got from simplyrecipes.com, and it's 0 points on all because it's just salsa. Homemade salsa. And I love the pico de gallo I made in last week's in last week's meal prep video, and I cannot wait to make my own salsa verde one. I am also going to be making ranch hummus. This is from Emily Bites, one of my favorite like Weight Watcher recipe person. So the smart points for this is 0 points for me, blue, also 0 points for purple, and then 2 points for green. And this is for a 1/4 cup of serving for ranch hummus. Next, I will be making banana pancake bites. This is another recipe from Emily Bites. And for green, blue, purple, all of them, it is going to be one smart point, per pancake bites. And then lastly, this is going to be an overnight recipe, so I'll see you guys again tomorrow morning, is I'm going to make crock pot Kahlua pork. Oh, I'm so excited. I love Kahlua pork. So this is from Skinny Taste, her recipe, and it is a little bit higher points. So for a 3-ounce serving, it is 6 points for blue, green, or purple. Oh, or if you're doing points plus, it is 4 points. All right, let's start getting into it. All right, these are all the ingredients that I need to make the Tomatillo Salsa Verde. So it's 1 1/2 pounds of the tomatillos, chopped white onion, which you could see I am trying to chop here, 2 cloves of garlic or more, that's optional, 1/2 cup of cilantro, 1 tablespoon of fresh lime juice, 2 jalapeno peppers, and then salt to taste. So this is something you just honestly mix into a blender. So I am going to be putting everything into the blender. So thank you so much to a subscriber who suggested cutting the cilantro because that is a lot faster than trying to chop it. So I have the onions and the cilantro in there. Now I'm doing jalapeno. If you guys see my other video, you know I struggle with cutting jalapenos because my eyes are very sensitive. So I found these like freeze-dried jalapenos, and that's what I'm using. And I put 3 tablespoons in, and that was just a guess because there was no equivalent for the jalapenos in that. Then there's lime juice, and then just some salt that I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit because it says to taste. And then the next part is you are dealing with the tomatillos. I actually have never cooked with tomatillos before, and I didn't really know what they were. So I foil lined a baking pan, and then it says to take the like papery part off, which I thought was really interesting. And then like after you take the papery part off, there's almost like a little sticky residue or something on it. So I just rinsed the tomatillos off really quick and drained them before I sprayed the pan with just some olive oil spray. And then I just wanted to chop these in half because what we're going to do is we are going to broil them. It says to put them cut side down, but then I had to flip them over because it says to try to stick the garlic into the skin. Now, you could see I'm trying to push it in between the things. And then I just gave up and just kind of ended up sprinkling it on top. So if you have any recommendation on how to do this better, I would greatly welcome it because I have no idea. Then I flipped it to the cut side down again because I didn't pay attention to it. Um, and that is all. So I set my oven to broil on high and I stuck it in and I cooked it until they were a little bit black on top, like you could see. I think it was around maybe 7 to 9 minutes that I did it. And just to let you guys know, I had to have help for this because it was really, really hard to get all these things going. And then I just mixed them up in this fancy blender, and immediately it started to smell really good. And there was totally steam coming out the top because it was really hot. Then I just, oh yeah, here you could see some steam. Then I just poured it in. Look how much salsa that gave me. And I like that it still is kind of chunky. Doesn't it look good? I'm totally going to be using this for some fun different recipes later on in the week. Alright, now we move on to our ranch hummus, 0 point ranch hummus. So what you do to start off is you have a can of chickpeas or garbanzo beans, whatever you care to call it, and I am just draining it and rinsing it off to get all the little things off. You didn't see me, but I promise I did wash the blender before. So you just put the chickpeas in the blender. Then you have some non-fat Greek yogurt. I believe it's a half a cup that you do. And then I'm adding a quarter of a teaspoon of black pepper, a half a teaspoon of salt. And I love it that I could just mix it right in there into the blender to save time. And then I have garlic powder. I just need 1 teaspoon of garlic powder that I plopped right in there. And then the next thing is 1 teaspoon of onion powder. I love it when you don't have to use like a bazillion different measuring spoons, because it's another 1 teaspoon of parsley, and I'm just shaking it in there. Sorry, I probably should have put the camera angle a little bit. As well as 1 teaspoon of dried dill weed. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of dill, so I definitely had a little bit of dill, not a full teaspoon, but I did put some in for sure. And then it is optional to have some lemon juice. She didn't really recommend how much, so I just used what I had. My blender had such a hard time blending it up, but it ended up looking good. And that is the ranch hummus after it is all blended up and put into the thing. All right, now, can you guys tell this was quick? This was a really quick meal prep day. I am starting on the banana pancakes. I love this because you only need 4 ingredients. You need the Bisquick Heart Smart pancake and baking mix, skim milk, reduced calorie breakfast syrup, and a banana. A large ripe banana. So I tried to make sure it was right. So I just cut the banana into pieces there, and then I am measuring out and adding the milk. It is 2/3 of a cup. And then here is my Bisquick that I did not want to focus on, but oh, there it goes. But it is 1 cup that you add to the milk mixture. And then I just have sugar-free syrup that I feel like that's probably reduced calorie if it's sugar-free. Then it is a half cup of the syrup that you put in there, and then you just mix it all together. It smells so good, probably because of the syrup, but it already was smelling really good. Then I got my little mini pancake things that I sprayed. It looks like I totally mostly just sprayed the tops. And then I am spooning in that mixture to the best of my abilities to kind of make it even. Oh my gosh. Does anybody else make a complete mess? Do you see how much I'm dropping on there? Please tell me I'm not the only one that makes a complete mess of this. Unless if you don't do it, please share with me your secret on how to be less messy when you're spooning things into muffin or cupcake tins, because obviously I need some help. You see how you totally even got some on the counter. Oh wow. But I'm scraping everything off to make sure I get it off. Then I am just popping some bananas into the muffin tin, or trying to. I didn't know how many. Honestly, it all depends on how much you cut, but just put just a couple of pieces of banana into that. So you can see that they're pretty full up to the top, which is awesome, because if they're 1 point for a mini muffin, I definitely want to make it go. Okay, so I put it in at 350, and now I started on the Kahlua pork. I don't know if you could quite see, but it was the pork shoulder blade roast that I am sticking into the crock pot and then stabbing it a ton of time with a knife. So I am doubling this recipe because I could not find 2 to 3 pounds. So I think this was closer to 6. And then after I stabbed it, I am sprinkling on some Hawaiian sea salt. This is actually Hawaiian sea salt that we got on our honeymoon more than 5 years ago. We went to Hawaii, and Eric and I actually fell in love with this Kahlua pork. You got to get all up in there with it. So I'm just sprinkling it on, and we have totally made this before, but it's just been a while, and it was so great to see that we could have it on Weight Watchers, and because it's going to be amazing. Then we have some liquid smoke. This is the mesquite, which is what is recommended. If you are looking for liquid smoke in your grocery store, look by the barbecue sauces. That's where I found mine for that. So then I covered it up and just set it on low. And then here are the banana pancakes bites all out of the oven. They don't look great, but they smelled amazing. But oh my gosh, guys, look at this pork. Right? So good. This was the next morning. Hey, it is the next day because I did the roast slow cooked overnight. And then honestly, you're going to see me probably in these clothes again because I'm immediately going to do a what I eat in a day to test all these things out. So yeah, this meal prep was really easy. It didn't take me really long time. So yeah, I'm excited about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this gave you some ideas on what to do. So if you are new, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button. I have lots and lots of Weight Watchers cooking videos coming up. And then a thumbs up will be great. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.